It's been a while since my last episode and there's a good reason for that. First off, I started off with a cold and then I caught COVID and I was bedridden for a few days. So I've played a lot of Minecraft. I've got a lot of episodes lined up for this 25-day series and it's just taken me a while to get around to editing. We've got a ton of exciting content coming up, but in this specific episode we're going to get to work on that Guardian farm because I want a source of sea lanterns, I want a source of prismarine and I want a source of XP. We're going to do that by building up a nice Guardian farm, but also by draining out the inside of the ocean monument for our industrial district. So here is days 76 to 100 of the 25-day series on the Shadowlands server. Hope you enjoy it. Please let me know down in the comments. And we start off this episode with a map. Not because I'm lost, but because I need to find the northwest corner of this ocean monument so that I can start building the Guardian farm. And the way to do that is to pillar up from this specific block. And I spent most of the day just trying to figure out where it was that I needed to build these pillars, which was the Guardian spawning points. And it didn't take long for me to run out of potions, so I quickly had to go home and restock. And as day 78 came about, I came back to the ocean monument and started using my sponges that Ori had so kindly got for me. As I cleared out the ocean monument, I realised this was going to be a bigger task than I initially thought it was going to take a while. So for this episode, I'm going to cut a ton out. But here you can see me building up my forward operating base inside the ocean monument, getting rid of the one up the top because I needed to build the structure across the top of it. I built this pool for me to land in, but I completely missed it. And I spent the next few days just building out this structure across the top and building the pillars all the way down. My landing pool backfired and started spawning guardians in it. I needed to brew some more potions because I ran out, and then I very quickly got back to building my pillars. It was all very repetitive. The guardians just kept spawning. I kept taking them out, and eventually I thought to myself, why not just take the full damage and just fill in that hole? So that's exactly what I did. And on day 84 I was back to building up the structure, but this time we're building the area that the guardians will spawn in. But I took quite a bit of damage here, so I decided that I was going to retreat back to base, and so from a safe distance I let my hearts come back up, and then I ventured outside again to carry on building our Guardian spawner. I wonder if maybe I got hit by every guardian that ever existed in Minecraft ever, but by day 85 I'd built the basics of the spawner. I spent the rest of day 85 placing sponges and then working out where I was going to put my nether portal to hook up to the nether. As I was clearing out the nether tunnel, I came across some ancient debris and spent the rest of the day just slabbing off the nether tunnel to make it safe from spawns. I cleared off my sponges and dried them out in the nether, which is always very satisfying to do, and then got back to building up the tower. And here you can see some Prema Guardian ejaculation.
Oh my gosh.
Our guardians were flowing in the right direction. It was time to get the redstone in place for the trident killer because I wanted to be able to hold a looting 3 sword while I was getting the guardians killed. And then I ended up with more drops, so I slabbed off the top, and by day 88 my trident killer was working. I made a bit of a change to the design later on, but it was working. It was spawning guardians and I was a very happy bunny. I mean, just look at that big grin. I am so happy because now I've got a source of sea lanterns and XP. Built a ladder up for easy access, and then I got to work on the item transportation system by using a minecart with a hopper leading into a chest. But I needed to get back to clearing out the ocean monuments, and that's what I did on day 89. I just took sponges everywhere that I went and I just cleared all of the water out and I cleared all of the walls out. And by day 90 I was doing some enchanting because now I had a ton of levels because I've spent some time at the Guardian farm, and day 91 was spent with the sponges. And we kind of go on this repeat process of just clearing out the monument, getting more levels, enchanting more gear, and just working through this cycle over and over again until finally I had fully enchanted gear, fully enchanted tools, all of the levels that I could possibly want, and a ton of sea lanterns. I'm going to skim over days 93, 4 and 5 because of block lag. Watch this. It's like magic. It just all pops back in. It's like Houdini, and it was terrible to work with. So after quite a lot of time faffing around, I did finally manage to clear out the majority of the ocean monument. There's no water left inside. There's just a couple of floor levels and there's no walls left. I collected a load of wood on day 96 because I needed to start work on the item storage and the item transportation system. So I got to work on the redstone, laying down my foundation with some netherrack. This took me a little while to figure out because of the convo confines of the monument itself, and then I got to work putting all of the chests in place. Once that was done, I built up all of the walls around it, put some doors in place so that I had some nice easy access, and made sure to light everything up so that I had no mob spawns going on. And then it was time to murder some cows because I needed that leather, and the looting 3 on the sword really helped, but I was looking for item frames. Just 3 days short of day 100, I was putting hoppers in place for all of the storage system and popping the item frames on the top so that I could keep track of what was in each chest, but I needed more iron, so I went to Roy's store and I picked up pretty much all of the iron that I've got, and I paid the diamonds for it, and I had enough iron to finish off the storage system. So thank you, Roy, you're a star. Also, hashtag West Coast is the best coast. I mean, it's the West Never Tunnel, which is like the West Coast, but still. With the rest of the iron that I'd acquired, I put in the rest of the hoppers that were needed, and then I put in all of the redstone torches to make the item sorter actually work. I needed more hoppers to go into the back of these comparators, and then I went and grabbed myself some packed ice, which I say every time is very satisfying to take down. And on day 99, I was heading back to the Ocean Monument. But I was up near our Trident Killer again, putting this redstone together to make the item dispensing system work for all of the items that were going to be going in this chest up the top, and I managed to get it finished, and it worked a treat. But I still need to build the actual item transportation, so I put glass underneath the water, and I put ice across the top of the water leading up to the glass column that I just built going down. I put all of the water sources in place to make sure that the items flowed in the right direction, and then I lit the whole area up because I didn't want anything spawning. I built the internal water stream as well, which led to the storage system, and then it was time to put the filler blocks into all of the hoppers, and this took a while, but that, once I connected it up, was the final stage, and we finally had items flowing in the right direction, going to our auto sorter, ready to be sorted into their relevant chests. And that brings us to the end of day 100 of the 25 days challenge. Thanks so much for watching, really appreciate it. You've noticed, I'm sure, that this is a slightly shorter episode than normal, and that's because, as I said earlier, there was a lot of repetitive tasks, and I didn't want to bore the tits off of everybody by just showing me breaking blocks or placing sponges or whatever the case may be. The point is, we have successfully cleared the inside of this monument. We have space to work with now, and we have an entire item transportation system leading from our AFK Guardian farm with Trident Killer down to our auto storage system, and we're going to use that auto storage system for the other farms that we're going to build in this industrial district, which I'm very pleased to say Rick Hunter is going to be sharing this industrial district with me, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to build in and around this Ocean Monument. But that's it for this episode. Hope you've enjoyed it. Like it if you have, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya. I swear, having a cold then followed by having COVID is not the one. I was in bed for like 14 days straight. It was horrible. I had the hot and cold sweats, I had the cough, it was just, yeah, horrendous. And the fatigue, oh my god, I could not be asked to do anything. It's horrible. I'm so pleased to be over that.